Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us for North Dakota Today on this Wednesday morning. We're back together. It's been a weird couple of, I feel like I haven't seen you forever. Neither one of us had, really vacation. You were not here Monday. Yesterday I had some work meetings so I was still in the building. In fact, my mom texted me during the show. She's like, "Where are you? Why are you not?"
She did?
Yeah. She was like, "You didn't tell." It's like, "Well, I'm actually in the building working, but I was on a,
some other deal.
It's like.
Doesn't your brother live in Mankato?
Yes.
It's a beautiful area.
Oh, it's really beautiful. No quick way to
idea.
Mankato, though.
That's putting it mildly, but once you get down in that neck of the woods, I mean, the sort of rolling hills, it's super green. There's these beautiful little lakes and corn and soybean area. I was like, wow, I kind of dig this place.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's kind of, like a little hidden gem.
How big is Mankato? Like 50,000?
They have the university there, so
okay.
I'm sure that's one of the, boosts. But also, my brother works they're just for Mayo, so Mayo has clinics in, Mankato as well as Rochester, kind of being just outside that area. So they have some big name things, the university, some Mayo Clinic and things like that. But also, some hidden treasure.
Really?
The trees.
So does your bro have like a lake cabin there or something? Or
he does. So outside of Mankato, Madison Lake, that's where I often go to surf and have fun and escape here.
I bet you it's just gorgeous, huh?
It is beautiful out there, yeah.
Wow.
So, I would go to Mankato more, except for it's
a trek.
It's like 5 hours away, so.
I didn't realize how long that is. I did it both ways in one day, and it was like the last hour, I was like, what in the world was I thinking? It was a great idea until about that last hour of the drive. And you're
leaving
wow.
Mankato, you're like, oh, it's just like a quick hour up to the cities. Or at least I take, 169 up. And I'm like, wait a minute, I still have to go back for a fire over from the cities. But anyway, it's just like when we were in Bemidji, too. I feel like Bemidji, a shorter drive, but one of those hidden gems that you forget when you're in Fargo-Moorhead. So I do love Mankato. If you just want to go like an hour and a half, I thought Bemidji was kind of one of those.
Bemidji's,
similar.
I mean, nice big lake. That's probably a much easier jaunt. And the other thing, Mankato's at least for me, because I don't really know where I'm at. I mean, you're going through all these little side roads, and you're like, man, I just hope that there's no wildlife out here. It's one of those kind of drives,
My parents, whenever they go, they always go kind of cross country or through all the small towns, which there are some really cute small towns in southern Minnesota. So. I don't know. Yeah, it was a treat. Maybe not a one-day trip, though.
I was going to say.
Last night I had one of those, just fill your heart kind of nights. I had a kind of a flashback to some people that I used to work with. I know it seems I've been around a long time, 20 years. I caught up with Charlie Johnson. Remember
No way.
Robin Hubner. They were kind of the power team when I first started in the business. Charlie was, I think, hired me way back a few years back, and then also a few producers, Heather and Rose, who I used to work with. And I love to tell this story because Heather is one of my best work friends. She has left the business since, but the first weekend I ever anchored my own weekend show was a big deal. And it was at Channel 4. It was before we merged, and Heather had been at Channel 4 for a while, and I walk in and she said, I was wondering if you were ever going to come into work. She was, in my defense, she came in at 1:30 in the afternoon. I came in at 2. We just were on different pages, but she speaks her mind, and I just adore that gal. So it's just really fun to catch up, and I would think I was the only one at the table who had been out to a restaurant previously. So they were all, still social distancing and masks were worn in, and I was like, oh, we can talk from a distance. Still great. There was still no hugs and stuff like that. So that's still.
And now Charlie's running the Fargo-Moorhead Visitors Bureau.
Yes. So it was interesting talking to him and kind of how the pandemic has affected them and tourism and kind of where they go from here as well. So, everyone kind of had their own story as to. And I feel like Rose, one of our producers here, she's been very active in helping families who may be struggling during the pandemic with, even she was talking about helping families get desks and school supplies into their,
nice.
Ahead of the new school year, knowing that we're, she's kind of adopted some families.
Good for her.
She has 2 kids of her own too, so.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah, so great to visit with them. I kind of feel like, everyone's children, they stop aging from the last time I worked with them, so I feel like everyone's children's, they're just like babies, but, the same way, they're like, Marley is going to be in 7th grade. I'm like, yeah. They're like,
Isn't
you
that
just had her.
crazy?
I'm like, I know, I just had her.
Time flies. Here's some very, very good news, because I know we're also sort of trying to get our hearts back into our chests after we heard the news about the Bison. I mean,
know.
wasn't that heartbreaking?
It is. I'm still processing it.
I mean, it is for us as fans. I can only imagine how the players and coaches and everyone else is dealing with it. But the good news is the NFL is still, as of this moment, still happening. So Vikings are underway at training camp. I'm sure you've seen a bunch of videos all across social media as well, where a bunch of teams are kicking things off and getting back in the swing of things. I'm assuming, I haven't heard for U.S. Bank, but many of the teams are going to have no fans. I think that's probably a NFL policy, at least in the stands. So make sure you tune in on TV, but it's going to be fun. I don't know who that is right there, but if you remember, the Vikes picked up in the first round that Jefferson kid out of LSU who is just a stud.
I think that's who this video is supposed to be of. So.
Receiver. I think it was the championship game or the semi. Yeah, that is him in the semifinal game. The dude had like 4 or 5 touchdown catches and just was owning people. He was like a men among boys. So it'll be fun to see if him and Adam Thielen can get the same groove that him and what was the other dude's name? Yeah, Stephon Diggs. Thank you very much. Stephon Diggs, who had the Minneapolis Miracle catch.
That was an incredible catch.
Yes.
Adam Thielen, wasn't it Adam Thielen who he went to Mankato? I think that's where he went.
That's right. Good boy. I forgot about that.
DL guy went to Mankato and walked on, and now he's like a superstar.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say it just like I did with the Twins. This might be the year for the Vikings. We won't be able to be in the stadium for it. Which, by the way, we need to get our fat heads.
I owe you one. I got to find a hat, so that's my bad. My bandwidth has been very small as of late, so it may be a little bit for me.
I want my fan face at Target Field. We're going to send those in. So
do yours, and then when I have time, I'll do mine. Because right now my life is like super busy, so I will get to it.
We got to get it in there so when I watch, I feel like I've been watching a lot of Twins games. My husband's like, no more soccer. We're going to start watching baseball. So I've been watching a lot of Twins. It would be fun.
Good for you.
Yeah, a lot of baseball.
Are you like a strategy person?
No, I'm just enjoy just the action. No. Just like I love the FM Redhawks too, but that might be for the social part of it too, just hanging out with friends. So I know that's kind of the fan
beers and the dogs. And there's a baseball game happening.
You have to, try to not have try to watch so I don't get, one day I'm going to get hit by a ball and it's going to be very embarrassing because I was not watching.
Don't say that.
This is also a really awesome Minnesota thing that's happening. Of course, there's no great Minnesota get-together this year, but I wish this family lived next door to me. Cheese curds, Dippin' Dots, deep fried anything. That's what you will find in this backyard. A Brooklyn Park family has its own version of the Great Minnesota Get-Together. They set up their state fair shop in their own backyard. Apparently, the gal who lives here, she said, I've gone for 50 years in a row. This is the first time I have not gone to the fair. So, I love that. Was that corn on the cob that I think she was eating
Probably,
too?
Yeah.
But how much fun is that? They say, too, they're going to keep doing it. Why not?
Yeah.
They're going to be, for sure, the hit of the
I wonder if they're able to replicate, though, the cookies and the milk. I've never had it, but everyone you talk to says if you go to the fair, you got to get, apparently they give you a little bucket of chocolate chip cookies, and then there's this thing you just walk up and there's all kinds of milk that you just...
Sweet Martha's cookies, that's what they're telling us in our...
So.
I have actually never been to the Great Minnesota Get-Together, so... I'm from Western North Dakota. I give myself a pass.
Next time you go to Mankato, you have to make it during that time so you can just swing up and,
swing by and so many things I'm missing out there.
Hey, bro, I'm going to stay the entire month of August, okay? So
if you figure out how you can get that done, let me know.
Not me. I'm talking about you. I'm not going there. You're going to go stay at his house for a month.
It's so nice there. It is super nice for escape. Okay, well, we have a great show planned for you today. Coming up, we're talking about the Fargo Film Festival. We're going to talk about keeping in shape, why it's even more for maybe sometimes for your mental health and your physical health as well. And we're going to be talking about how one school is taking class outside to be safe. All of that's coming up. Stay with us. You're watching North Dakota Today.